the Canadian partnership of Wendy Wiebe and Colleen Miller, drawn in lane number 5. But starting on the far side, it's the Swedish sisters, Monica and Christina Knepp. Next to them in lane 2, Germany, represented by the former Canadian Michelle Darville, the world champion single sculler in 1993. She's in the bow. Then the Dutch partnership of Lauren Vermulst and Ellen Melissi, the psychologist and the physiotherapist. Australia's partners, Virginia Lee and Joanne Morgan. And next to them, the defending champions for Canada, Wendy Wiebe in the bow, Colleen Miller. And in lane 6, Berit Christoffersen and Lina Andersen for Denmark. And together must not average more than 57 kilos.
Crucial time in the race here, these first few strokes. Got to get away clean without taking out too much energy. And no better practitioners of this than the Dutch, who really are very, very experienced. And already their noses are in front as they get through those first 20 or 30 strokes and start looking for length and looking to settle into a rhythm. Australia just beginning to slip back a little bit. Here it's very, very key to squeeze away, quick second stroke, quick third stroke, to get the boat up and moving. And the blade work, very important. Here, Holland, with those sculls just picking up the water at the reach as they build up their length and they build up their power in the water.
So Holland right up there, also Canada, Germany almost on terms in lane number 2 as well. And the Dutch, though, as you said, Dan, with all the experience in the world, by contrast, this is a relatively inexperienced partnership.
Yeah, it's very lively, very quick moving out on the far side there, moving very well indeed.
Well, Michelle Darville is a real bonus for the German squad, talented individual sculler.
A world champion in '93, and she's really, she's brought a lot to this German squad. Germany's still having a lot of difficulty finding a world champion in these championships. They're getting a lot of crews qualified for the Olympics next year, a lot of 4th places, but they're finding it very difficult to score the top medal. And here again, it's Holland. Oh no, it's Canada, the world champions, who just pipped them to the 500-meter mark. Canada just in front, and Holland up there with them. The experienced double from Holland.
In fact, Canada, Holland, Germany, that's the order. It's on your screen now with the time for the first quarter, 1:46.72. And this promises to be a real tussle between Holland and the Canadians all the way to the line. The Australians here, Virginia Lee and Joanne Morgan, well, they were in Lucerne. The Australians behind Canada and behind Germany. In fact, it was the United States who won the race in Lucerne, but they're not in the final.
Didn't make the final. Here, the world champions, and you can see that real discipline in the way that they move. A little bit of a dip down there onto the left side, but the interesting riggers there, one-stay riggers right across the boat, and they've hit the front. They've got half a length there at the 750 meters mark. Very high-level event, this. Pressure's really, really come on into this event. Nearly double the entry from last year. And Denmark still struggling there to find their rhythm in this difficult water. Canada in front, being pressed by Germany. Holland slipped back now into 3rd place, and now Holland being pressed by Denmark. But it's Canada defending their title, getting good length forward. Good unity there of movement as they drive the legs through the stretcher.
They really are a talented duo. Colleen sitting in front of Wendy there, pretty useful athlete before she took up rowing, competitive swimmer. And in fact, she's only been rowing for the past 7 years. Wendy, on the other hand, she's got 11 years of experience. And the Canadians lead to the 1,000-meter mark ahead of Germany, with Denmark on the near side, just about in 3rd place now. ahead of Holland, Sweden and Australia. That's the order at the moment.
Well, Canada pushing on now, trying to push away from these threatening crews. Again, that little dip down onto the left side. They seem to repeat that slight grab on the left scull, which drags them down, and it's not quite as even through the stroke as they would like. They're trying to, there it goes again, they're trying to break free of the crews there, but Germany up with them and putting them under a lot of pressure. Michel Darville there in the bow seat. Denmark trying to get on terms with Germany. Very smooth movements there from the German double. Germany looking for that first gold medal of these championships. Holland slipping back, Australia in 6th place. But Canada trying to break free, trying to get away, and they've got 3/4 of a length, and now on the near side, Denmark pushing well. Denmark pushing now up on Germany, Denmark beginning to move. They found their rhythm, they've got some good movement, good run in the boat, and they're pushing hard.
Setting that rhythm there in the stern of the boat is Lena Andersen. She was 9th in the individual sculls last year, the lightweight sculls. And she's put the boat with our partner, Berit Kristoffersen, into 2nd place behind these 2 Canadians.
Well, Canada in the last 200 or 300 meters have moved clear. They've opened up that little bit of open water, gives them a bit of comfort. They're moving extremely well, and they've got a good length and a half on Germany, and it is Denmark who are in the 2nd position, just over a length down. Denmark well clear now of Germany, and it's Australia breaking out of the following pack, and it's Australia now beginning to put pressure on Germany.
And I must say, the Dutch partnership, who won this world lightweight doubles title back in 1988 in Milan, a big surprise to see them so far off the pace.
Well, they made their move. They're clearly not fully fit, and they've decided they're going to come back for this Olympics next year. They've qualified, which is no mean feat, because the standard's been very, very high at this regatta. But it's Canada really now they've found their form. They're really flying, and they're opening up, moving away and away.
And looking good to make it a hat-trick, the champions in '93 and again last year. And it's very difficult now, Dan, to see anyone denying them a 3rd gold medal.
Yeah, they're very confident, and they're moving well. The water's getting a little bit better, and they're well on top of it. But in 2nd place there, Denmark doing very well. They came from 5th place at 500 meters. They've moved through the field into 2nd place. Holland really struggling now in last position. But these are the 2 who are going to take this title for the 3rd time, moving so well now together and still opening up. But Denmark really in the picture still, holding on for that 2nd position and the silver medal.
Germany trying to get back on terms with Denmark for at least the silver medal, but the Canadians are still looking mighty impressive, flowing beautifully.
And they're moving up a gear again, but both Germany and Denmark closing a little bit, just squeezing up, Denmark moving, Germany putting them under tremendous pressure, but Canada clear, Canada 3/4 of a length. Denmark moving all the time as they come into the last few strokes. No one's going to get Canada. There's Canada across the line. Denmark got very close, and Germany slipped away at the end for the 3rd medal with Sweden and Australia, and finally Holland taking the 6th slot. But a great performance, 3 in a row for Canada, Wendy Weber and Colleen Miller. Well, Denmark can go into this Olympic Games next year with the realization they got very close after a very, very sluggish start.
Once upon a time, it was Romania, Russia, and East Germany who ruled women's rowing. These days, it's Australia, the United States, and Canada.
Colleen Miller.